Hello everyone, and welcome back to the next interview in my Successful Entrepreneurs Stories series. It's my great pleasure to introduce you today to my friend Mark Attwood. And Mark's an entrepreneur, he's a digital expert, he's a lifestyler, and he's got so many other interests that I'm sure we'll cover in this interview. I'm really delighted to be talking to him. The quality of the call isn't as it is normally because Mark lives in Morocco, and I'm sure he'll share with us why he's doing that as we progress through the interview. So, Mark, hello, welcome.
Hi Adèle, how are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you for joining me today.
It's a pleasure. Good to be here.
Thank you. So would you please tell my listeners of your journey in entrepreneurship over the years to where you are now, where you're living with your family in Morocco?
Wow, okay, I'll do my best. I started life as an Air Force pilot in the RAF and resigned from there because I didn't want to kill anybody. Then became obviously a poet, stand-up comedian, theatre director, producer, actor, journalist, publisher, Tesco shelf stacker. Set my first business up when I was about 21, 22, which was a magazine for the courier industry in the UK. Sold that after about 6 or 7 months. Went to America to try and raise money for a film that never got made and wasted all my money. Came back, had a kind of love-hate relationship with money. Started writing plays and poetry and doing lots of creative stuff, and then made a decision to make some money when I was about 30. I set up a marketing business. I got involved with the internet during the dot-com boom, and eventually set up an online skip hire company, which I knew nothing about the skip hire industry, and that business went on to generate nearly £50 million so far. We recently sold our shares in it, and now I run a digital agency and I do lots of different entrepreneurial projects based here in Marrakesh.
Wow. So what are some of the highlights in your entrepreneurial career so far?
Well, I guess I think the bit I really enjoyed the most. What I enjoy most at the moment is helping people become more successful online. I really love that, and I've got a lot of successful students that makes me very happy because I change people's lives with that stuff. But I suppose from my point of view, I was very lucky to be the right age and have the right sort of set of abilities and interest in the internet as the internet kind of started becoming a commercial medium. And I really ran with that, and I really enjoyed that kind of Wild West days of the internet when nobody knew anything about how to market on the internet. So that was probably my favourite period.
Right.
But starting a business from scratch and seeing that grow and employing lots of people and raising an investment, and it's been a wild ride really. It's not all been fun, but most of it has been a really good experience, and I like sharing what I learned from that now with other people. That's where I'm at today.
So those experiences you just mentioned, your turnover I think was 40 to 50 million in the skip business. You grew it. How profitable was that business?
Well, it went through different stages of profitability. It's very profitable right now. Now that we don't own it anymore. But during the growth period, it was kind of like holding a tiger by the tail. And the business that I had was, one thing I'm really good at is marketing and getting leads, and one thing I'm really bad at is managing money and staff. And we had a lot of difficulties at the beginning because it was a very, very high, lots and lots of transactions every day, very complicated financially, even though it was always cash flow positive. So it didn't make a profit for the first few years of trading. Then it got hit. We got hit in 2008 because most of our clients went bust because all the building sites in the country closed down. That caused a problem. We had to go into a voluntary administration. Then we bought the company back to save the employees, and then we got an investment, and then I rebranded the whole thing as a hire company that wasn't just skips; it was everything. And now it's doing really, really well.
Wow, gosh, that's a very interesting journey. So you've touched on this already, but what do you think are the best attributes or skills that you have that have supported you in your entrepreneurial endeavours so far?
Well, I think if I really had a gun to my head, I think it's that I'm incredibly creative. I'm always creating new things, new ideas, and that's the thing I get a buzz out of. I like creating new things, so that's really my strength. I'm a creator. I make things happen. I mean, I think my key skill In fact, I was talking about this the other day. I remember going to an internet marketing conference in Chicago in 2003, 4, something like that. I was sat next to this guy who'd been going to the same conference for 3 years. And I said, God, you must be a millionaire by now. He says, no, I just come, take notes, and then when I get home, I put them under the desk and I don't look at them again until the next year. And I was like, totally different to me, because I was in each lecture that I was in, I was going to my hotel room, implementing what I'd learned, and then going back to the next one. So I think implementing and taking action is the key thing that has helped me the most.
So tell me about your current work. You're a digital expert, you're helping others to be more successful, and you're living and working in Morocco. Tell me why you got into teaching others and why you decided to go to Morocco.
Well, teaching others came about because I'd seen this guy who's calls himself the UK's #1 internet marketing expert. I won't tell you his name. And I'd seen him rise and rise and rise since 2002, 2003. And I said to my wife, we've got to go to see what this guy's actually teaching. So we paid, I can't remember what it was, £1,500 a head to go to a 4-day thing in London. And we were there for 4 days, and we didn't learn one thing. And it wasn't because we knew loads of stuff, it's just that nothing was being taught. It was all basically selling information products. So this guy said, if you sign up to my super special VIP thing, I guarantee to increase your turnover by £1 million. And I said to Kate, my wife, I said, well, we've got to sign up to this because I want to know what he's teaching people. And we went all the way out to America, and we sat there and realised there wasn't teaching very much at all. So and while I was there, this is how it actually happened. I just started saying to people who were there with me, you know, your website's not optimised, you've got no videos going on, you've not got a blog. Yeah, and they were like, really? I didn't know. And they all asked me to help them. But I'd already decided I didn't want to be going up and down the motorway trying to get people's business like I had done in the marketing agency that I had previously. So I said, well, I'll teach you everything I know. I'll put on a seminar. So I did, and I found that I really, really enjoyed it. And then from that, I started getting invites to do talks at other places, at the British Library, the Manchester Business School, at the university there, and I was really, really enjoying it. And I found I actually got out of teaching and I did out of implementing. So because of that, I also went through a period where an ex-employee did a smear campaign online about me, which really upset me and made me want to give it up. And I spent about a year not doing anything. And then all of the students I had kept emailing saying, please, can you carry on? So I got back into it, and interesting learning curve for me and for anybody listening to this as well, because you know, if you are successful online, it's kind of a weird thing because you kind of become public property, and you get a lot of people that hate you, but you have to get past that and remember that actually if you're sharing knowledge and you're helping people, you're just doing something good in the world. So that's what I guess I really enjoy the most now.
And why did you take your family? You've got 5 children, haven't you?
5 little children.
5 children.
10, 9, 8, 5 and 5.
Blimey. And go to Morocco.
Yeah, well, it's not a very exciting story about why we're here, but it's when we got married, we always wanted to move abroad somewhere at some point, and I've been on a retreat. I've been on a fasting retreat in cold Devon, where I didn't eat anything for a week, so I was putting on too much weight as an entrepreneur with too much cortisol. And I said to my wife when I get back, I said, go on a retreat, you need a break, 5 kids, business, everything else, just go and have a break. I thought she'd come back with a weekend in Wales, and she came back with a week in the Sahara. And then when she came back, she said, we're moving to Morocco. And I went, oh, okay. And that's how it happened.
So you moved, and you're homeschooling your children, aren't you? Is that right?
Yeah, well, we are, yeah. I think my biggest interest in life at the moment, intellectually, is the idea of sovereignty. What does it mean to be truly independent and truly self-reliant for your health, for your wealth, for your education, for your own education, for your spirituality, for your mind, for your thoughts. We were inspired by this family online called, they call themselves the Rainbow Family. It's this German family with 5 kids as well. They travel around the world. They have a big YouTube following. And they started out by talking about raw food, which is something I'm also interested in. And we were going to do a blog called Sovereign Family, but we'd had some bad experiences with putting our kids on stuff on Facebook before, and we didn't feel really comfortable about really putting the kids online. So I'm kind of exploring the idea of sovereignty through my own blog as the Sovereign Entrepreneur, because I'm interested to see world, because, you know, I look around in the UK and I see an incredible amount of people that are totally dependent upon the state for everything, from the medicine that they take to the food that they eat, from the education that they get. And I'm not really into the way it's going over there at the moment. So leaving the country was a good thing, experiencing a different culture, but also gives us this opportunity to sort of grow in many other ways, and explore this idea of sovereignty.
It's amazing. It's fascinating.
That answered the question.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. So, just going back to your work for a minute, in the digital world that you're in, what are some of the key mistakes that you see businesses, whether it be big businesses or small businesses, making in the digital space right now?
I think one of the biggest mistakes, I see the same mistakes over and over again. And anybody that's ever heard me talk before will know I always talk about keywords and keyword research. That's like the number one thing that everybody should do. I was just on the phone to somebody earlier today, an entire business built upon social media. It is possible to build businesses using Pinterest and Instagram and all those exciting things. There's no question of that. And, you know, I know people that have built fortunes just using YouTube videos. But there are still, I guess the one thing that I hear a lot that I think is a lot of rubbish is that SEO is dead. And I really like it when people say things like SEO is dead, because it means that there's even bigger opportunities for people. And, you know, I've got what I was talking about a client this morning that we took from £36,000 turnover to over £400,000 turnover in just over a year, just using SEO. So I think the opportunities for most businesses to do proper keyword research, really understand the mind of the market before you go into it, and create, optimize and syndicate written image and video content all over the web is incredibly powerful, incredibly cheap to do, and something not many people do. So quite easy to get high rankings and lots of money from that.
So you said create and syndicate, is that what you said? Content and images?
Create, optimize and syndicate. So say for example you're going into a market and there's you find there's 10,000 keywords there. In an ideal world, those 10,000 keywords would each have a blog post, a web page, an article of some kind syndicated, a video made with the keywords in it, optimized properly, but then put out on not just YouTube, but put it out on other channels that rank in Google, like Vimeo and Dailymotion, for example. And the same with images. I mean, images is one of the easiest SEO wins that so few people know how to do. And, you know, it's so easy and cheap to do. You just get a photo or an image that's unique, brand it, and then change the image name to your keyword from your brand, and get that syndicated across Flickr, Picasa, Pinterest, Instagram. Get it on your blog. You know, you can get lots and lots of traffic from these neglected areas of optimized stuff on the internet.
Fascinating. So, you know, talk me through how regular businesses should approach the digital world. You know, and I mean businesses like plumbers, electricians, builders, hairdressers, businesses that probably don't see themselves as digital. But some of them will recognise they need to embrace digital, but they won't know how. So what should they be doing?
Well, I do work with a lot of local businesses in the UK that do things like floor cleaning and plumbing and things like that. And the wins there are so easy. All you've got to do is point an iPhone camera at yourself and talk for 30 seconds to a minute, put on each keyword that you want to rank for, and then get it onto YouTube. I mean, it's pretty damn simple. And then make lots and lots of videos. Videos is the quickest, cheapest, and is where most of the traffic is coming from. You know, by 2018, 80% of all internet traffic will be from video, according to Cisco. So it's already probably about 60%. So I'd focus on making videos, getting a local business to understand and implement. There's a lot of education that goes into really understanding how on-page SEO works and getting all that right. And it's a slower road, and it's an important road, but it's a slower road. I think videos can rank far faster. I mean, I did a video this week for a surfing instructor here in Morocco, and he got one for one of his keywords within 5 minutes of loading his video. And nobody else was doing it. So I think there's still massive opportunities in video marketing. In fact, I wrote an ebook on it called The 7-Step Blueprint to Online Video Marketing Success about a couple of months ago, because most of the people that I deal with just don't do it. So there's big opportunities there.
So if you were to limit your ideas to, say, 3 top tips for businesses wanting a bigger or better digital presence, what would your top tips be right now?
Well, one, make the videos, but make sure it's optimized for keywords. So if you're in somewhere like you only operate in, say, Hemel Hempstead, and you're a plumber, then make sure you've got a video optimized for plumber Hemel Hempstead. It's pretty straightforward stuff. Hello?
Yep, got that. That's one.
Sorry, I've got somebody trying to get through on this line. Let me just get rid of them. Sorry, Adèle.
That's all right.
I don't get many phone calls on this number, so that's quite strange. Number 2 is be blogging. Make sure you're blogging. And number 3 is get lots of testimonials. If you're a local business, video testimonials are the best you can get. Don't be afraid of asking your customers to just say how good you are on camera and get their permission to use it on YouTube.
Okay, well, that's really easy to do. Thank you for that. So, I want to talk about
There are millions of other things to do, obviously, but they're the things that I see getting.
Oh, sorry, say that again. You just cut out on me. Say that again.
So there are millions of other things I could say to do, but those are the 3 things that I see get the most success for local, real life businesses that are local.
Right. Okay. Thank you. So I want to talk about personal branding for a minute. Do you think you have a personal brand? Are you personally branded?
It's a really interesting question. I think I'm very good at branding other people and my own businesses, but when it comes to me, I think like most people, you have a bit of a blind spot. So I've taken quite a lot of external advice and stuff on this and ignored it, and then rebranded myself as the sovereign entrepreneur in the last couple of months.
Well, that was actually my next question, because I saw that your branding had changed, and you've preempted it by your earlier answer was, why did you brand yourself the sovereign entrepreneur? And I understand from a family point of view and the self-sustaining element to your world. Are there professional reasons why you've created that brand as well?
That's a good question as well. I've gone into that as an intellectual exercise because I don't want to just be pigeonholed as digital marketing guy. Because I wanted to create a brand that would enable me to start talking about organic food and home education, kids, and other stuff like that. Probably more activist type stuff than just internet marketing stuff. Although the internet marketing stuff is at the centre of it, because it's possible for anybody to generate $2,000 to $5,000 a month from creating their own online courses, for example, or becoming an affiliate marketer. Which means that the old paradigms, the economy has totally changed. The old paradigms of having to go to 9 to 5 work and stay in the place where you were born is gone. And I'm trying to explore that personally and share what I learn on my journey with other people, and hopefully inspire some people to really, really enjoy their life more. Because I see a lot of people. I mean, I do. One of the best parts of my job is the workshops that I do, and I did a workshop earlier this year, and I asked people to write down their dreams. What things did they? Why did they go into business in the first place? What is it they wanted to achieve? What dreams did they have? And it's always a good exercise. You get lots of different things. People want to go to the Grand Prix, or go to the TT races, or make more money, or be happy. All those vague things like that. One guy had a blank sheet of paper after half an hour, and I said, "Are you seriously telling me you have no dreams at all?" He's like, "No, I just want to pay the mortgage." I'm like, "Come on, do you really want to be on your deathbed thinking, I did well, I paid my mortgage?" There's more to life than paying mortgages. So that's the area that I'm interested in, because I think the human race is kind of we're all in a debt trap. The whole system is based on debt. The money system is based on debt. Most people don't even understand what money is. I mean, I did a 3-year degree in economics 25 years ago, and nobody ever mentioned the fractional reserve banking system to me. It's incredible how few people, they don't teach money to kids in school. They don't teach how money works, because it's a big con trick. Everybody's in a debt trap, and I think the whole system needs to be rebuilt. I want to see an open source government. I want to get rid of the money system as it is, because it's just totally corrupted. I want all debt to be written off. There's a brighter future for the human race, and at the moment, I think the human race is in the shitter. So that's why I'm trying to explore these ideas to see. And I'm doing my own podcast as well. I'm talking to other people that are kind of doing stuff in this space. the people like Simon Dixon at Bank for the Future, for example. This guy is leading the way in terms of what's going on with the blockchain technology and Bitcoin and how that's an uncorruptible currency. This is fascinating stuff, and this is world-changing stuff. So I think coming back to your question about my branding and stuff, it's really to give me a platform to explore those ideas in more depth without just being pegged as he's the internet marketing guy.
Yeah, I get it. I've met Simon. He's amazing. It's phenomenal what he's doing. Yeah, really, really interesting.
I love him. And any entrepreneur listening to this should go and get Simon's book, Bank for the Future, go to his website, Bank for the Future, and start watching Max Kaiser on RT.com.
Yeah, exactly.
We should all wise up in terms of the way financial systems really work, because I think a lot of entrepreneurs as well, they swap their jobs for a business, and then they actually end up working more hours, harder for less money. And it's like, well, is that freedom?
Well,
why did you do that?
Yeah, that's another long conversation. I'll stop you on that one there. So let's focus on something I think will be easy for you to answer, and that's what's been your best personal achievement so far in life, with excluding your 5 children?
Well,
they would be the top. So other than them and your wife,
they would be the top.
Yeah, they would be.
Well, this is a very personal one, and it's nothing to do with business. But when I was training to be a pilot, I got this wing commander came and did a test on a squadron, and this guy was like a former Red Arrows leader. I mean, he's like one of the best pilots in the world, and he took me for my test, and he gave me the highest grade the Air Force had given any pilot in 23 years. And that was funny. I knew I could leave. I resigned soon after that, but that was definitely the proudest day of my life, I think.
Wow, it's amazing. Do you still fly?
Occasionally. I have vague plans to go on a gyrocopter course in England in the next 12 months. I was doing some micro-lighting a couple of years ago, but with 5 kids, the business and the moves and everything, it's been a bit difficult to keep it up.
Yeah.
Because it does take quite a lot of focus and attention. So yes, I have got some recent flying hours, but not as much as I'd like.
Brilliant. So just going back to business for a moment, based on your entrepreneurial and your coaching experience to date, if you had 3 pieces of advice to give a person who's growing a small business or thinking about becoming a business owner, entrepreneur, regardless of the industry, what would that advice be?
Well, I really understand why you're doing it, and start with the end in mind. I think when I started Topskips, I was just so excited about the potential of doing something completely new in a market that had never had this kind of thing happen in it. But I never really had the end in sight, and I wish I had. I wish I'd had a plan and had a clear plan to exit for a certain amount of money by a certain period of time. And I think, when I see in a lot of the workshops I do, I say to people, what's your plan? Where are you going to go? Well, I want to retire at the age of 60. So I said, well, how much is that? How much money will you need to do that retirement? If you assume you're going to live to 80, how much you need per year? So then you work out how much the business needs to be worth by that point, and then to sell it for the right amount, so that you don't have to keep working. Because I see that a lot. People just continue to work because they can't actually get out of it. So try to understand where the value of your business is, and the value is in your list. Your email list or your database of customers. That's what takes a long time and a lot of money to acquire. So I still see businesses operating and they're not storing emails, they're not keeping in touch with customers. They just take the customer and then the customer goes away and then they don't talk to them again. That's crazy. Keep the relationship going and build a loyal following and charge the right prices. The other thing I see a lot of businesses do is they're constantly competing on price. Never compete on price. It's a crazy thing to do. I made a massive mistake 2006, I think, or 5. I mean, you can look this up on Wayback Machine, the archive.org, on Topskips. I had this ideal notion that the internet was all about being completely transparent, and so I decided to put a price calculator up on our homepage so that people could see precisely how much a skip would cost in the different areas, different sizes, depending on the waste they put in and everything else. And it was a really cool piece of kit. But guess what happened to our turnover?
Dropped.
It halved.
Yeah.
because people were going on there, and then they were ringing up the competitors saying, "Can you do a skip for this price?" And they were undercutting us by £1, and they just took all our business away.
Oh no!
Never compete on price. Always compete on value, and continue to add stack the cool, as they say in the States. Just keep stacking value, as much value as you can into the proposition, and look after your customers, and make sure you give them a guarantee and give them a refund if they, don't argue with them. Look after them.
Yeah, totally agree.
Did that answer the question?
Yeah, that's great. And my one final question.
Oh, the other thing is, the other thing is, I've got to put it. You must, and I hate this, but you must look after cash flow. it's my weak spot.
It's your nemesis, isn't it? Cash flow.
I hate spreadsheets.
Well, have you not heard of delegation? Have you not heard of accounting managers, or
I've got. That's the other thing. Get somebody that you trust to do your accounts.
Yeah.
I've got a phenomenal accountant, but God, I hate spreadsheets. But go through the pain barrier, do a cash flow forecast, and just keep on top of it. Make sure and have a target.
Yeah, I agree. So one final question for you. When you are 101 years old, hopefully you aspire to that, as I do, sitting in your rocking chair, wherever you might be in the world, what will give you the greatest pleasure to smile about the life that's gone before? What will you reminisce most about?
Well, I've got another 57 years before I'm at that point, so I don't know. It's probably the stuff that's yet to come.
Oh, and your kids. You're allowed to be proud of your kids now.
Well, it's the kids. It's my kids. Everything's about the kids.
And your wife, I hope. And your wife, I hope.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Of course, my wife. But together, we created these kids, and my biggest hope is that they become, great role models in the world for the people that really understand. That they're good people. And they do something good in the world. That's my biggest hope.
Brilliant. Excellent. Wonderful, Mark. Look, thank you so much for talking to me. I really love your story. I love your honesty about the way business has been and your views on life. And I'm sure what you've said is going to be really inspiring to my audience. So thank you.
Well, I hope so. Thank you very much, Adèle.
It's my pleasure. Bye.